Hey everybody, Mike Guillaume, Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, USMNT Game Day. It is time for the January camp game between the USA and Trinidad and Tobago. Ooh, I hear Trinidad Tobago and I just get the chills. I don't like it. But tonight, the U.S. young-based American team should be able to, I think, kick some Trinidad and Tobago. But this evening, I am joined by my co-host, Nick Pateris. Nick, a little late, but better late than never. How you doing, my man?
If you have my here, right? Like, you know me, lawyers, we don't bill a minute for more than we can. So I'm right on time here, and I'll judge you if you want me to, if that's what you really need. But no, man, I'm psyched that we've got live USMNT action. We have an opponent in Trinidad and Tobago. You're right, it kind of gives you chills, but you know what? That's behind us. We already played them in Gold Cup the last round and took care of business. So the whole kind of revenge factor, bugaboo, all of that is kind of out of it, right? This is a game where the U.S. is bringing their C team essentially to a Trinidad team who also is looking to kind of get a roster set for their own World Cup qualifying run here. So USA should win this one, but Mike, 2018 qualifying is so far from my mind tonight. I'm just going to enjoy some good old-fashioned red, white, blue soccer here.
There you go. I can't let it go. That was a traumatic night in U.S. soccer history. So for me, I'm all about it. Let's get that revenge tonight. It's a C team tonight, right? I mean, it is not a great lineup. I mean, we're looking at that lineup. It's funny. I could not even find a lineup for the Trinidad and Tobago side. On Twitter, finally when I turned on the TV here, Fox Sports 1 ended up putting it on for me, but I didn't have time to copy it down. But for the U.S., their starting lineup, they've got Matt Turner in goal. Herrera.
Making his USMNT debut. Matt Turner.
USMNT debut for Matt Turner. Yeah. Probably never going to see the field again for the U.S., so we better enjoy it.
We'll talk about that. But
we will. We'll talk about it.
He will have limited opportunities, yeah.
So Herrera, Long, Vines, and Robinson at the back. Then you got Uil, Areola, Ferreira, Acosta, and the mid, maybe John Lewis is in the mid as well, Sebastian Lletget in the mid. I don't know. We don't really have a striker here. Obviously, big news released yesterday about Josie Altidore. He's not playing tonight. Apparently, he got hurt a couple weeks ago. Hey, shocker, right? Josie gets hurt.
In training, Mike, in training. Not in a game or in a simulation.
Played a game in how many months? And then he's in training with the USMNT in the January camp, which for him is not going to be a strenuous occasion because it's not like he's like one of these young kids trying to show off. And he hurts himself. Well, there's a lot of rumblings about whether or not he wants out of Toronto FC, whether or not Toronto FC wants him out of town. So we'll see what actually happens with that. But he is not playing tonight. So really no striker for the U.S. And, looking at it, the midfield, a lot of bench things here. I saw a tweet by 11 Yanks earlier that he's like, a lot of these guys, look at like Acosta and Lewis, these guys that shouldn't be there are in the starting lineup. And then these guys who had great seasons like Ferreira, who just switched, allegiances, Daryl Dike, Pineda, Tessman, all these guys that have had great seasons and they're not getting rewarded with a chance at a start for this one. Now they'll probably end up seeing the field, but come on, that, whatever it is.
Right. Well, Berhalter's got a good problem on his hands right now, and it is how is he going to cycle through all of this young and up and coming talent and get them time to train with the senior team, to train with the U23s under Jason Kreis, someone who he's been working closely with to develop a program here. And then when actual games matter, when you're in World Cup qualifying, when you're in Gold Cup, when you're in Nations League, when you're in Olympic qualifying in the Olympics, then hopefully he will have his starting 11 senior team, his starting 11 U23s, and then we'll really get to see where U.S. soccer has come over the last 4 years, give or take a COVID or two, right? So that's why this game, you're not going to get much out of the roster, but I think they're evaluating how these guys work in training camp, how they gel as a unit, how they take instruction from the coaching staff, all those sort of things. And now let's see if it translates a little bit to a live game. That's what I'm looking at, Mike.
All right. Well, we've got plenty of time to chat about this stuff because we've got another 15 minutes for kickoff here. Good old Fox, hey, game starts at 7. And then they, hey, we're going to do a 30-minute pregame, but we weren't going to tell you about that. So We've got plenty of time here to chat about it. And hey, look at this. We've got our first super chat of the evening from Toronto Sports Insider, $10. Keep rocking SOP from your friends over at Toronto Sports Insider. So I'll just say thank you to myself, Nick. You're welcome. And Toronto Sports Insider, go check them out. That's actually me. I am the Toronto Sports Insider. And actually got a video dropping tomorrow morning about Josie Altidore and the TFC saga. So go check out my page over there and hit that subscribe button as well. And come hang out with me doing live stream reactions for all Toronto sports, Raptors, Maple Leafs, TFC, Blue Jays, all that fun stuff. So anyways, that's enough from that. So what do you think? If with this lineup that you're seeing out here, how much stock do you put into this game, first of all? And then second of all, what are your expectations as far as results go?
So let me start with the easy question. My expectation is a win and a convincing win. Despite the fact that we're bringing out kind of a C team here, it's still a Trinidad and Tobago team whose best players are playing in the USL, right? We have seen that they have one player who's playing for Real Salt Lake in the MLS as kind of a bench player. We have seen a lot of their other players playing in various levels in USL, as well as I think they've got a couple players for like in Guatemala clubs, Costa Rican clubs. I think they do have a player who plays for Saprissa. So the Trinidad and Tobago team is not a team that you can just write off, but at the same time, as the United States, where we want to go, where we are with our soccer, we need to defeat this team by at least a score of 3-1. I like Jose Hernandez's prediction here, 4-1. Like, it needs to be something like that. We can't have a 2-1 win. We can't have, where we're scoring late in the game and to take the 3 points, so to speak. this needs to be a convincing win. It needs to be a dominating win. If it's a 2-goal victory, I'm fine with it as long as the team performs. If they do what Berhalter has asked of them in his system and his coaching and things of that nature. If they win 6-1, but it's a total trash game, then that really doesn't tell us anything about this. It's a nice scoreline. You know, the meatheads out there on social media are like, yeah, USA Soccer, we scored 6. But, you know, you need to actually have this game mean something for your development, not just let's go run up the score on a Caribbean nation here. Now, you asked me about the roster, Mike. And do you want to get a comment in there before I start looking at some of these players?
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of give my 2 cents on it. You know, this is important. You know, for all these young kids, you're going to be able to pick it off and say, at least for Berhalter, you know, be able to say, all right, these guys, forget it. They came in here, they worked for 3 weeks, gave them a shot. They're young. Unless they do something crazy over the next couple of years of their career, they're out of the picture, right? So you're going to have that separation of guys. And it's important for a lot of these guys. I mean, this is a tryout in all essence of the word, right? So these guys are going to be out there fighting for their lives to put on the red, white, and blue jersey, which is very important. It has kind of, in my opinion, has taken kind of a hit over the last few years. Not as many guys are like as pumped up about wearing the USA jersey, you know, from what we can see from some of the star guys. And I think that was one of the reasons why the U.S. has struggled over the years and most recently. But you got a lot of young kids who are really going to be going after it to try and be the future of U.S. soccer. Now, maybe one of these guys will actually play in the first team. Maybe 2 will play in the first team going forward in the World Cup qualification. We will see. You know, some names that stick out to me: Robinson, Aaron Long. Those 2 guys, the center backs, they're most likely going to be in the picture there. Leggett continues to get call-ups. Either Berhalter really likes him, or he's just giving him run out just to give him a run out because he knows he's not going to be part of the actual team. And then Paul Arriola as well has a chance at being in the picture. The rest of these guys, it's going to be a few years. They're going to have to play really well tonight, and they're going to have to play really well in their MLS careers, and they're on going forward. So why don't you touch on the rest?
Well, real quick, everyone, let us know what your game predictions are. Jose Hernandez already said 4-1. In favor of the USA. I like that pick. So let us know in the comment section, and we'll go ahead and read your predictions for tonight's game. Talking about the roster, though, specific players. You touched on Sebastian Leggett getting another run out, Mike. You know, a lot of people say his best games are with the U.S. And like he's not that good with the Galaxy, and he puts on that national team jersey and he plays really well. Some people see it differently, that he just doesn't seem to fit in on the national team, and then he goes and has, you know, is one of the better midfielders in MLS, one of the best attacking midfielders in MLS. So to me, he's an intriguing figure. There's a lot of different storylines with Berhalter running out these different lineups and these different players, especially during a time with pandemics and with international windows such that we can't get our full first team here for these games. So one of those storylines is he is trying to give some guys a proper send-off, like a Michael Bradley, like a Josie Altidore. You know, this could have been Josie's send-off. Let him bag a couple against TNT, and then this is his last call-up. You know, Bradley kind of had his swan song last year, Will Trapp last year, as they started turning over the roster and getting the younger players acclimated to what the system Berhalter's playing. Could this be a swan song for Leggett? Give him some time? Maybe. The other storyline is the U.S. is going to be playing in, let's see, World Cup qualifying, Nations League for CONCACAF, Olympic soccer, and Gold Cup all this calendar year. So Leggett is a guy he can lean on, maybe not in World Cup qualifying, but someone who he can rely on during Nations League and Gold Cup games, that he could be a solid starter for the U.S. there. So that is another storyline of why Leggett keeps getting these call-ups. Or maybe Berhalter believes in him. Again, we don't know exactly what he's doing at training, but I'm sure Berhalter and his coaching staff are of the mindset that if Leggett is knocking it out of the park during his training sessions, then he is going to continue to get call-ups on the national team. And the only thing that's holding him back is he's playing for a terrible Galaxy team, and maybe they're giving him the benefit of the doubt. So that's my thought on Sebastian Legit. Anything you want to add to that, Mike, or take a counterpoint with me?
No, not at all. Watching these guys warm up. First half kickoff is next, 6 minutes away. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our awesome soccer content. We go live usually Monday nights to record our episode, our regular podcast episode. Actually won't be doing it tomorrow. We'll be doing it on Tuesday because it's my daughter's 9th birthday tomorrow. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss when we go live. We do our podcast episodes live. We do picks and predictions for MLS, have been doing a little bit of Liga MX, lots of soccer content. You don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button down below as well. Do us all a favor and get your chat highlighted, just like we did with Toronto Sports Insider. Send us a super chat, get your chat recognized, get a shout out, a personalized shout out. And as well, you will end up on the board right next to my beautiful smiling face if you hit that top donation of the match. So right now, that top donation is Toronto Sports Insider, $10. And again, since that was me, because that's my channel, and I just would love every single person that's on here to go subscribe to my channel as well, we'll actually get rid of Toronto Sports Insider with the next super chat and put your name up there, and we'll go with that. So that's enough of that stuff. Now, as far as the game, a couple minutes away, really, really excited about this. I mean, anytime the U.S. gets going, it gets me going, man. It's been a kind of a little bit of a break here with the MLS offseason. We have been doing some Liga MX stuff, but just not as exciting as USA games or as MLS games. So tonight, talking about predictions, for me, I think the U.S. is going to come out and just kick some ass. I think they're going to come out there. These young kids are just going to tear into that Trinidad and Tobago team. Probably if I had to guess a score line, I'm going to go with 4-1. I think it's just going to be all over the place. And then towards the end of the game, Trinidad will finally get a goal in. But that's just that's my thought. Jay Jardim, he's got a prediction of 3-1. Soccer 09, actually, this is a funny comment here before we get to your prediction. So Soccer 09, he says, hey, SOP, you should make a Discord server. Nick, do you know what a Discord server is?
I do, Mike. I do. It's a way for it's big with gamers. So people who are in clans or guilds or whatever, and whatever gaming game that you play can communicate, coordinate attacks, keep in touch or whatever. But a lot of other communication people are using it. So we could start one, and for our SOP regulars here, we could continue to have conversations, just as if it were a text message thing. So
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I knew nothing about this stuff until it was last week when I really started up Toronto Sports Insider, and we had a gentleman on, Owen Parkin, who had actually seen Sons of a Pitch soccer before for a TFC game. And he's like, you should start a Discord server. I'll help you out with all of it. So we have one for Toronto Sports Insider because he set it up. We'll have to get one set up for as well. Really does build that community. I mean, we can already see it with Toronto Sports Insider. The chats and everybody's talking about the game. There's voice chats, all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool. So thanks, Soccer09, for that idea. And we will have to do that here over the next while, starting up a Discord server. So players are getting out there. They've got their T-shirts on. Black Lives Still Matter. Why the change in that? I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Interesting. That's a very interesting take there that I had to point out, because why are we putting still there? They just do.
I don't know. Anyway, real quick, we've got a couple other predictions. David Sabion says Turner with the clean sheet, 2-0 USA. It's funny, everything that we've been seeing from other people are giving Trinidad the benefit of the doubt that they're going to get that one goal, right? Yeah. So I'm glad we got someone who's coming in with a clean sheet. I just think with a young, inexperienced U.S. team and a potent offense like Trinidad, again, maybe not potent offense is the right word to use, but guys who play professional soccer and who aren't intimidated by the United States, I'm sure if they can get a 10-minute spell of good possession, they might find the back of the net. So that's why I don't think it'll be a scoreless sheet for the U.S. here. A couple other things to look for, everyone. Let's see kind of what formation. Mike, have they put out a 3-4-3, a 4-4-2?
Yeah, so they did put the formation out. And just to clarify on the last one here, Jose Hernandez said we should get a Discord server.
Yes.
So props to you, Jose, as well as Soccer09. And I'm guessing if you said it first. And then there's John on YouTube saying, is there some link to watch this match? I can't even find it on Facebook where I always watch. If anybody can find a link to this, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you guys want to go over and watch that, that's fine. We're just here for the conversation and whatnot. So if you can find a link, put it out there. As far as formations go, this one is a 4-4-3 for the United States. Ferreira, Long, Robinson, and Vines across the back. Acosta, Uil, and Leggett in the midfield. Areola, Ferreira, and Lewis.
4-3-3, all right.
Forwards and the wingers, so to say. So decent, I see it more of a 4-5-1, though, to be honest with you.
Okay.
That's
leaving who's the striker up top then? Are they playing Leggett all the way up the top? Ferreira.
That'd be Ferreira. I would say Ferreira would be that lone striker up front. I mean, Lewis and Areola both wingers. So, I don't see why that would change. So kickoff is underway. The white jerseys for the United States and black and white striped jerseys for Trinidad and Tobago.
Kind of a cool look for them, that's for sure.
Very interesting look. They kind of look like a bunch of referees, just NFL referees, just horizontal stripes instead of vertical stripes. So you're going to have to bear with me here. They don't have names on the back of their jerseys. I don't know who is who other than looking at their numbers. But for the U.S. team, we know who they are. So Ferreira actually pressuring the goalkeeper, Fonset, and causing a little bit of a turnover there, but they end up getting the throw in out of it. With Lewis putting on some pressure on the defender. So already a strong start there for the USA, kind of really putting some pressure on, high press on these guys right off the start. So here's
absolutely
it back to Leggett over to Long. There's still it should have been a foul there, but no foul on Uil. And here comes Trinidad and Tobago now rushing up the field. Number 7, Telfer, Ryan Telfer, the former TFC guy, plays in the CPL. He makes a run, gets the ball knocked away from him, but Trinidad and Tobago continue to pressure here.
Right, Ryan Telfer, we talked about him in our last episode, and if you guys go back, find the YouTube video, find the podcast from our last recording, we do preview a little bit of the notable names from Trinidad and Tobago, including Ryan Telfer, the TFC, the former TFC man, and here we got a chance for the United States.
Nice ball through here.
Oh! Are they going to give
Ferreira shoots? No, passes it back to the middle, and Acosta bangs it home.
Acosta? That's Lewis. That's Lewis.
And it's 1-0 USA already.
Wow, Mike, we can't even give a storyline here. They've already scored in the second minute of the game. Is that Jonathan Lewis, Mike, the Colorado Rapid, that gets his goal here to put the USA up real early? First of all,
materialize a great ball into the middle, and Ferreira makes a nice move around the keeper and then just sends it back to a wide open Jonathan Lewis. Couple Trinidad and Tobago players on the line trying to maybe get their body on it, but they ran to the line instead of running to Jonathan Lewis, and Lewis had a very easy goal, probably one of the easiest goals he'll ever score in his life. So a great start for the U.S. as we expected, man. I mean, there is a new aura around the United States now. And I think this really goes back to it. For me, it started exactly in the USA-Canada game when they lost to Canada 2-0. At that point, everybody just kind of dropped off and was like, oh my God, U.S. soccer, it's over. And everybody was just doomsday, right? And then there was like this new, all right, listen, it's not over. It's just a random game. It's a friendly, don't worry about it. Let's just focus on the future and get this team built up. And then they really turned things around in that return leg with Canada. And then all of a sudden beat Canada pretty handily. And now there's an aura about this team. Hey, when we step on the field, we are going to tear it up. We are going to kick some butt, and we're not going to play. We're not going to mess around. We don't think we're better than anybody else. We're just going to go out there and play our asses off. And really like what I'm seeing from this so far. Here's a great ball from Jonathan Lewis. into, is that legit? He tries to go around the defender, gets pushed down. He's looking for a penalty, but not happening. It's not legit. It's Areola.
No, that's Paul Areola. And he is a veteran of the USMNT. He needs to know, he needs to take that shot before he gets himself too far towards the touchline. Dude, you're in the 4th minute. You're up 1-0 against Trinidad Tobago. You're not going to get a penalty call. Just stay on your feet. Don't go flopping around like that. So Areola's got to do better. But man, so 2 counterattacking goals for the U.S. here. And Mike, you're totally right about a change, the aura around the USMNT, the mentality, right? All these young players had to hear now for 4 years or so about how mentally weak, about how, what was it Taylor Twellman or Alexi Lawless that said these billionaire baby soccer players with their tattoos?
That would be Lawless. Yep.
They've had to hear about all of that. So they're coming out working even harder. And you're seeing it early on in this game. They've had some sloppy turnovers already, even though it's the 5th minute. But those defenders are tracking back and forcing turnovers from TNT. The midfielders are getting in good positions. And then as soon as the ball's turned over, they're working as a team to counterattack. That first goal, if you're tracking hockey assists, Sam Vines from the left wing plays a bending ball around 2 Trinidadian defenders right onto the path of Jesus Ferreira. It was beautiful by Sam Vines, right? Something that we didn't expect out of him. You know, maybe we should have. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised by this, given how well.
I'm high on Vines, man. I think he's a hell of a player.
You are. I just don't see it yet, but he's convincing me with plays like that.
He hasn't had the opportunity yet. I mean, you've watched him in MLS a little bit. At least I have. And, he's played really well in MLS. So he has the pedigree that a lot of people have been talking about, him moving over to Europe and being in the conversation to play with USMNT. Now, is he going to take over that spot, on the left right now from God, the hell, Robinson or, or is he going to take it from that? I don't think those guys. But you never know. I mean, over the next couple of years, if the trajectory of his career keeps going up, and I'm the type of guy, like for me, managing a team, if you're playing hard, you're giving everything you got. If that talent gap is not that much different, I'm going with the guy who's busting his ass, that really works hard. Doesn't matter if he's got the big name. If he really works hard and he's got that personality that's going after it, I'll go with that guy all day long rather than the superstar that is, well, this is my spot and I got this, So,
no, I'm absolutely with you on that, Mike. And, speaking of, if we can talk a little bit more about some defenders here for the U.S., meanwhile, in the game, we're in the 7th minute. U.S. is maintaining some good possession, cycling the ball around, getting some touches. But, Mike, you want to talk about USMNT defenders. We're starting to see a lot of guys who can play at a very high level for the United States along that back line. We've got Vines in the game tonight. Let's see, who are the other defenders? Long, Vines, Herrera. I don't think they've got playing along the back there. Miles.
No, it's Herrera.
Sorry,
Herrera.
The U.S. lineup
Robinson,
is not organized.
Long, and Vines.
I'm reading off the official U.S. soccer lineup, and it's organized by number, not by position.
Right.
Or
go over to MLS Soccer, pull up the game. They finally updated the lineups literally when Fox Sports 1 did. As far as having a lineup for Trinidad and Tobago and then what the formations were going to look like. So I'm assuming somebody handed like a piece of paper in to Fox Sports 1 like 20 minutes before the game, because Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know if they have a Twitter or anything like that, but there was nothing out there on it. So here's Legit now, kicks it back to Vines. Here's Uil looking for a cross into the middle. It's blocked nicely by Trinidad. And Archer tries to get out of the zone there. And it'll be a throw-in for Trinidad and Tobago. Just about to hit the 9th minute.
So, we're looking at talking defenders here, Mike. You've got those guys along the back line. And then look at your guys overseas. Cannon, Dest, Yedlin, who just made a move to Galatasaray over in the Turkish league. That has been a lot of talk around USMNT fans, social media, and the pundits as well. Is Yedlin still in the mix for a starting spot? I mean, do we have to look at him as still a viable starter? The fact we've got Cannon, Dest, Robinson, let's see, Miles Robinson and Anthony Robinson, right? We've got Sam Vines and Herrera playing tonight. So do we really want DeAndre Liedlin? Do we really want a guy who is playing in Turkey to be our U.S.
in by Vines, and there's the shot and a goal. Jesus Ferreira gets on the score sheet, 2-0 USA. Sam Vines with a nice little run into the end line, taps it back to Ferreira, and he hammers it home, 2-0 USA. Gotta love it. They're playing tonight.
Look at that, Mike. I mean, Trinidad can't even get the ball out of their own defensive third. The U.S. is pressuring, and Sam Vines' excellent overlap run. Lewis feeds him onto the touchline. He slots it back across to the 6-yard line, where Ferreira one-times it near post high over the goalie's outstretched arms. That is just excellent training. Like that, you learn those type of things on the training pitch when you play together with a group of guys. So that is excellent to see them doing that. They know where each other are. They know where the runs are going to be, and then they've got the skill to make the touches count. I love it. I love it, Mike. Again, we're doing it against Trinidad and Tobago, but this is what you're supposed to do against Trinidad and Tobago.
Exactly. I mean, well, what happened the last time we played Trinidad and Tobago?
Right? I forget what that Gold Cup
this is what we're supposed to do.
They played in the Gold Cup.
If we're doing the did they play in the Gold Cup? Okay, so 2 times ago, and I know it's different in when you're down there in CONCACAF, the way the field's set up, and I remember the players were crying about the field and how it was flooding before the game.
Yeah,
and,
right.
It was that superstar mentality of these guys who, now you got these young kids here and they're tearing it up. Here comes Areola now with a nice cross into the middle. And almost a chance for Ferreira. The goalkeeper, Fonset, comes out and grabs it before he can turn around and slam it home. And U.S. just recovers the ball. Fonset throws it up quickly to Telfer, and Ueo comes from behind, takes the ball right away from him, and the U.S. starts to build possession again through Sam Vines and Leggett, going for some more. So I love seeing it, man. I love seeing it.
Absolutely. And that's when Adrian Fonset, the goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago, he plays his professional soccer in the Trinidad and Tobago League. So he's he's a homegrown guy by all accounts. And usually you can see some of these CONCACAF goalkeepers getting looks overseas, but he's TNT through and through, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, I still want to get your take a little bit. Now that Yedlin's at Galatasaray, leaving Newcastle in the Premier League, does that lower his stock? Do you think he's still a viable candidate for right back at the U.S.?
I don't think so. Galatasaray is kind of it's a place. Turkey's kind of the league for people to go to die.
I hate the Turkish league.
I hate the Turkish league. Look at Kyle Larin, right, from Canada. He came to the MLS, went through Orlando where this game is being played well, ended up going over to, I think, Besiktas, or was it Galatasaray? I can't remember, one of the Turkish league teams. And he's now just finally having a decent season, but he's been out of the Canadian men's national team picture for a long time now.
Right.
I don't like it. Yedlin's done. He's out. And looks like Jose's saying his game is ahead of us. So there you go. He looks like he's a little bit ahead there, Jose. So keep it to yourself, would you?
I'm with you too, brother. I don't like the Turkish league for many reasons. But you look at especially CONCACAF players going over there, right? Like it's hard for them from a social perspective to be in Turkey. These Americans and Canadians being in Turkey just because of politics and all that sort of thing. But you look at a guy like Larin, excellent example. Then let's also look at Tyler Boyd, who a lot of people said he needs to get looks as USMNT's #1 striker. His club won't even play him. I think he's up with Galatasaray maybe or Besiktas, but they won't even play him for some ridiculous rule purposes of playing international players. Berhalter even had to come out and make a statement that said this is ridiculous. How are we supposed to improve players, and how is that team who signed him to come and score goals for them? It's so stupid the way that league and those teams are run. And again, Mike, you've got 3 teams: Galatasaray, Besiktas, and Fenerbahce. Those are the 3 top teams and that's it. Everyone else in the league is trash, even for the Turkish league standpoint. So I see.
Right. Here's Areola into the box now, cutting it back, and it goes out for a corner. And these wings, man, Lewis and Areola are just having a field day going into the box. So, as we got a comment here, I'm going to butcher the name. but Dijer Hersey says Mesut Ozil went to Fenerbahce. Yeah, I mean that's it. His career's over. I mean, look at the trajectory of his career in.
Well, Ozil is ethnically Turkish, so like to me, I guess that kind of makes a little sense.
That makes sense for him, right?
But like, why guys think they can go play for a top Turkish team and that will help them in an internet, with their national teams? I don't think it will. Unless you're wanting to play for the Turkish national team, right?
Aaron Long in the box, pops it up, and Fonset makes the save. More pressure, though, by USA. 14 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock for us.
I'll the last thing I'll say, and I'll get off my DeAndre Yedlin Turkish Super League thing, is Galatasaray has played in European continental tournaments. They've played in a number of Europa Cups, Europa League, and Champions League. So Yedlin knows he's never going to get to that height with Newcastle. So he goes to a lower tier, but a better team, and maybe he gets to play in the Champions League. So that could be it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Here's Leggett now. Passes back to Sam Vines. Vines goes into the middle for Uil. He sends a long switch over to the right-hand side. Here's a cross into the middle to the back post. Lewis, and what a save by Fonset.
Oh, that's an incredible save.
Doesn't go in. Unbelievable. Great save there. It was almost 3-0 US. I tell you, the best players against the United States, at least recently, for these smaller CONCACAF nations, the guys who probably love it when they see the U.S. on the schedule, is the goalkeepers, because they know that they're going to make at least 4 or 5 great saves, because they're going to give up 6 or 7 goals, and they're just going to be under pressure the entire game. And so they probably love it. They're probably like, all right, here I got a chance to be on national TV in the USA, and maybe somebody will see these great saves that I make. There you go.
That's not a bad way to look at him. I guess find a silver lining. That was a great cross, and a good jump by Ferreira there, or was that? I'm sorry, that was Lewis again. Lewis to get on that. He needs to do a better job. He just headed it back across the goal, thinking he's so close. What's the difference? Right. Fonseca made the great save. He needs to direct that down into the near post where he is, and then that would have been 3-0 US in this 15th minute. So he knows it. He's going to watch that tape, and he's going to learn from that. And that's what you want out of these games. Those tiny little things to just elevate your team that much more. So that's what I think. So what do we got going on now? Minute 17 here. The United States content to build up a little possession, work the ball around the back. Trinidad, do they drop 11 men behind the ball right now? Like, they're not even trying to pretend they're going to counterattack the U.S. right now. They don't even have their striker playing at the half line. Like, he's not even trying to press. Aaron Long just chilling, in the center circle there. Like, this is I get Trinidad Tobago came here in very short notice. That they took this game when Serbia wasn't able to finalize a game with the United States. I understand that. But still, you got to have some semblance of pressure, something that you want to do. And even if you can't do anything, bunker and counter. Try it.
Yeah, so good replay here by the Fox Sports crew, showing that the first goal was actually offside.
Oh.
Or the second goal. Vines cutting it back to Ferreira there. Was offside on the pass to Vines, and the ref, the linesman, missed it. So 76% to 24% is the possession in this one for the U.S. Here's Areola now down the right-hand side, cutting into the box, sending it into the middle. Leggett with a shot, and it's right at Fonset, who makes another good save. Does it really matter, though, that the goal was offside? Not really. It's not going to change anything in the long run, at least in my opinion. But yeah, when one of your goals is shouldn't have counted, right?
Well, it looked like they were saying too. Vines may or may not have been offside, but the flag man, the AR on the far side of the field didn't have the best line of sight for it. It looked like he was a little out of position, so he couldn't actually make the correct call and get his flag up. But again, it's a CONCACAF friendly, no VAR, nothing like that, so not going to get called back, not going to get overturned. Which, fine, whatever.
Well, here comes Trinidad and Tobago now. Number 17, Bonval, cutting into the box, sends a long cross way over the head of Ryan Telfer to go out for a goal kick. And saying Bonval actually plays in the Trinidad League.
There you go.
So, there's you got guys playing in the Trinidad League. I mean, God bless them. I don't know any of the teams in the Trinidad League. Does anybody know? We had a few fans from Trinidad on our stream here a little bit earlier. Let us know, or if you're a Trinidad fan, if you're what your team is down there and what some of the teams these guys play with. That'd be appreciated. Here is Sam Vines now coming up for the USA, dropping it back to Ueel Leggett, and Ueel playing 1-2 in the midfield. Back to Leggett now. Leggett up to Jonathan Lewis. He gets a little bit of a shove from behind, and the U.S. will reset and continue to tick that possession percentage up further and further. Now Long going back and forth with Miles Robinson as well. So slow approach here for the U.S. A long ball over the top looking for Sam Vines, goes out of play. Bad pass there by Aaron Long. Aaron Long. So what is this? I'm getting conflicting reports here. So sounds like the Red Bulls actually turned down an offer from a championship side for Long, but now there's apparently rumors of Liverpool wanting to sign Aaron Long. What's going on here? Is this guy ever going to get out of New York? Or are they just going to hold him hostage forever?
I think, I haven't read any of the recent articles on it, Mike, but it does look like he is going to Liverpool. I think he's going to be on a loan to Liverpool, one of the, if not the biggest club in the world over the last couple of years, winning all sorts of trophies and international competitions, domestic things. So Liverpool, right? I'm so happy that the Red Bulls held out from Long going to a championship club. It seems like that was the right decision, especially now. Hindsight is always 2020, but sending him to a lower tier club, especially a championship side club, who I don't think it was one of the bigger names who were fighting for promotion. So it probably helped his career out that he held out and played a little more with the Red Bulls and got some of these more domestic-based U.S. camps, right? But now he's going to go to Liverpool. He's going to be a defender for one of the biggest clubs in the world. And Mike, Liverpool is in desperate need of defenders. Tons of injuries, tons of games that they've been playing between all the different competitions they're in. I'm not saying they're desperate, so they signed Aaron Long. That's not at all. If Liverpool were thinking they were going to scrape the bottom of the barrel, then they're just going to call up their U18 kids, their U23 kids, like they have been in some other competitions. So they know they're in a title race. They want to be in Champions League. They're not just going to start signing guys just to fill roster spots. So Liverpool sees something in Aaron Long, and I can't wait to see him get tested.
All right, Areola makes a nice pass in here. Lewis Ferreira back to Areola, shoots and scores 3-0 USA. This is getting ugly quickly.
Yeah, that's for sure, Mike.
It's funny. I don't know why I'm so hesitant. I'm over here and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe 4-1. Give them that one goal, and yeah, we'll come out and kick some ass. But just like the last game. The last game when it was who the hell were they playing in the last game? El Salvador, right? I'm like, oh yeah, no, El Salvador. They're gonna beat them, but maybe like 4-1 or 3-0, right? No, and it was 3-0 10 minutes in or 15 minutes in. Well, same deal here. We're 22 minutes in. It's 3-0. Could be more.
Right. Well, it could be less if that offside got called too. By the way.
What's that?
I said it could be less if that offside actually got called.
Well, true.
But. Yeah, Mike, they're just running it here. They're just running it. And hopefully, I mean, this is great for confidence. This is great to have some of these Caribbean and Central American teams say, crap, even the U.S.'s C team is going to destroy us, right? You want to get some of that fear back in your squad and some of that fear back when other teams see you on the roster. But at the same time, hopefully this isn't stunting the development of these guys, that if they're just getting turnovers and springing forward and scoring goals, where's the development, right? So I hope that's not the case. It's hard to say that anytime you're dominating teams, especially with the possession, but we'll see what it does in the long run for these guys. Hopefully it gives Berhalter some tape at least to go back and analyze, because they're definitely not going to say anything like, well, we won 6-0, so all these guys are going to be getting, called up to the Gold Cup roster or the World Cup roster.
Right. Yeah, hopefully not. don't think that'll be the case. But I want to touch back on Aaron Long. So so Jose says, if anything, Long won't go to Liverpool. Trust me, he's not. If Liverpool need a new center back since some are injured, Liverpool will most likely search in Turkish league or Greek league or Belgian league. Goal. Well, yep, we got the goal there, but look, I don't see Long for Liverpool, man. Like, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Maybe a low end Premier League type center back. There's no way Aaron Long is good enough to play for Liverpool at center back. There's no way. I mean, he wouldn't be on this roster right now if he was going to Liverpool. That's for damn sure, because he wouldn't be risking the injury. Just like the possible stories with Josie Altidore, apparently with the little injury and with the transfer market coming up, apparently Berhalter said that as well, that the transfer window is coming up and, he doesn't want to take any chances. So right. I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't see Aaron Long going there. That's just me. But
you're right. Aaron Long, in a regular situation, Aaron Long is not good enough to be your starting center back for Liverpool, a day in and day out starter for Liverpool. But you know what? Right now, the way that their roster is been decimated by injuries, and the way that they're again, look at their schedule. They got Champions League, they've got Premier League, they've got the FA Cup, and then they've got the Carabao Cup or the League Cup. They've already been eliminated in one of those domestic cup tournaments, so they're still in the running for top 4 in the Prem here. So they need an experienced guy who can just come in and burn minutes for them. He's not going to start every game for the rest of the Premier League season, but he's going to come in, get some spot starts, maybe build some depth, help them work in some of their U23 guys, some of their other loan guys, whatever the case is. Like he's not going there to be the starter. He's not going to take over. It's how they manage him and how they manage the roster. It gives him another guy to do it. He can probably hold his own. I'll give him that. Someone with USMNT experience, someone who's been at the top of MLS defenses for a while. I think he can hold. I know he can hold his own in the Premier League. But no, he's not going to be brought into Liverpool and say, okay, we need to keep a clean sheet against Man City, Man United, Everton. We need to keep clean sheets against these teams. I just threw my team in there, by the way. Everton has not had a good track record against Liverpool over the last decade. But, yes, of course, Liverpool can go to some of those other leagues that Jose mentioned and pull guys, but they could probably get a better deal on Aaron Long. First of all, if they're already worried about their financial situation, there's already rumors they're going to be selling a couple other of their core players just for finances. So they can get a good deal from Long. They can scout the guy. And you know what? Long could also be kind of their pipeline to the MLS. If he does well and they can say, yeah, this is how all of our Red Bull guys play, or a lot of these MLS guys, it could start something for Liverpool in the MLS. And you know what? We were just ripping on how terrible the Turkish league is. I'm telling you guys, the Greek league isn't that much better. I mean, yeah, you want discount players, go to Greece, go to Cyprus. But there's quality. And you know what? The U.S. is what's hot right now. Mike, we're the fad. We're the trend. These U.S. players are very trendy right now, especially over in the Premier League when you've got Pulisic doing it. He got an assist today for Chelsea. And then you got guys like Jack Harrison doing it for even the lower end Premier League teams like Leeds. The U.S. is a very trendy place to sign players from right now. So I'll give you that. Jose, I'm not trying to take anything away from your arguments or anything, man, but I really don't see why wouldn't you sign Aaron Long from instead of having to go scout the Cyprus league or something like that. So that's the long and the short of everything I need to say about that, Mike. Maybe we went a little too international for that take.
Maybe. But it's a quick break here because it's the hydration break, apparently, because they're in Florida. We us up here in Chicago, we don't really get the hydration break thing because it's like, I don't know, 28 degrees outside and there's like 8 feet of snow on the ground. But they're back underway, and good to see some fans in the building there as well. Nice to see, the limited attendance there in Orlando, taking in the USMNT. And here's Long now with the ball, passing up, and then it goes all the way back from Uweel to the keeper, Turner, who hasn't had to do anything. Do you think? Here's an idea. Do you think Turner will record a save in this game?
Do I think has he had one yet? I think he kind of had something happened in the box, but you're right. I don't think he had any actual is credited with a save. I think he'll have a save. I do.
Okay.
It might come very soon here because TNT finally woke up. Whoa, and we've got a Trinidadian player who tries to 2-foot Turner as he plays the ball out of the back there. That was a pretty reckless challenge. I'm surprised the referee didn't give any sort of caution there, if not a yellow card, just saying, look, guy, it's a friendly, all right? You don't need to go 100 miles an hour cleats up against the goalkeeper playing out the back. That's a little dangerous there. Now here's maybe where we like to see Aaron Long kind of take a shot at a guy like that who comes in on their keeper. Looked like Matt Turner didn't have too much to say, just, kind of sidestepped it and maybe taking the high road here. Hey, we're up 3-0 against Trinidad. Let's just not have any of this silliness. So if Matt Miazga was there, what would happen.
Yeah, here's Trinidad now with possession, handball bringing it down. And yeah, they have not had a shot yet. It's 7 shots total, 5 on target for the U.S. and 0 shots for Trinidad. On to Ferreira. He's offside though, and Ferreira going for another one. But yeah, this it's fun to watch these guys, man. They're really going for it. They're getting after it, and this is fun. You got Benson here on Benson Munga on Facebook. I wonder, everybody on Facebook, maybe the stream on Facebook isn't working out very well because Facebook is the game on halftime or what? Has the game started yet? I mean, look right above me. I've got the score, so like 3-0 right here. Then you got over here, you got the time on the clock, what's on the clock here. So,
Mike, we got to get you to change that graphic from Q1 to H1 or 1H.
Hey, you know what? If I ran the scoreboard company, I would do that.
There you go. All right. But yeah, to our Facebook viewers, we're in the 32nd minute here. U.S. up 3-0. Been a very, very slow day for the United States defense. A lot of their offense coming off of turnovers in the midfield and in the U.S. attacking third, and then turning that into some quick offense. So it's what you want to see. But now let's see if we can actually get some build up. We got 15 minutes left in the half. You're going to start seeing guys get a little tired. Is Trinidad going to take advantage of this and maybe get a shot on goal, make Turner actually do some work? Mike, that's usually the strategy. The inferior team says, let's see if we can withstand the first 20 minutes of the game or so, and then we can grow into the game and counterattack. Trinidad, maybe they're actually just trying that from a tactical perspective, despite giving up 3 goals already. So it wouldn't surprise me if they start getting into this game a little bit here. Now, hey, Mike, you wanted to talk roster a little bit earlier. Where do you see Matt Turner? Since the camera's on him, we've been talking about him. Where do you see Matt Turner in the world of USMNT goalkeeping right now? Is he competing for a number 1 spot? Is he penciled in behind Stefan as number 2? Is he going to make a World Cup roster? What do you think as Trinidad sets up for a corner kick here, their first of the game?
No, I mean, he's a flash in the pan right now. He's a good player. He had a good MLS season. Is he going to fight with Stefan for the number 1? Absolutely not. Is he going to be a backup guy? Maybe if he lights it on fire in New England, wins an MLS Cup, moves to a Premier League side and starts over there, maybe. I just don't see it happening. The guy had a decent season in New England, and now he's just the end-all be-all for U.S. men's national team soccer. He's not going to fight for number 1. Maybe number 2, maybe, but that's a big maybe. Everybody just needs to chill out with the Matt Turner talk. He's not that good. I mean, he's okay, at a decent season for New England, but that's my thoughts on that.
I don't see him going to a top team. I mean, he's 26 years old right now. He'll be 27 in June. So I don't know if I see him transferring to a top 5 league. But Mike, can you be the U.S. starter and play in MLS if you're a goalkeeper? Can you do that? What do you think?
Probably not. Probably not with the guys that are already there. If Stefan was still with the Crew and Horvath was maybe in Dallas, maybe. But with those guys, the solid number one and number twos for the U.S. or overseas, yeah, I don't see anybody playing in MLS that's going to really push for a starting spot with the U.S.
Well, we've got the U.S. now getting some good possession in the offensive third. I like how they put the ball in the wing, and another just reflex save there by Fonseca, keeping the scoreline only at 3-0. I liked how the U.S. gets the ball in the corner, the defense gets drawn out, they do a few overlaps, and then get the ball again wide open in the corner. Great cross in, ball takes a funny hop, and Fonseca is able to come up with it. Again, USA putting some of that sustained, steady pressure there. That could have been 4-0 easily. But let's get back to our goalkeeping conversation here, Mike. Here, let me throw some names out here. You tell me. This is a game I love to play if you know our show. Would you take Matt Turner or Zach Steffen?
Steffen.
Clearly. Matt Turner or Sean Johnson? NYCFC goalkeeper.
I'd pick Sean Johnson over Turner.
All right, I think it's a close one, but I think Johnson has the edge right now. He's got a lot more U.S. experience, and probably has been playing better overall the last few seasons with NYCFC than Turner did just last season with New England. What about Bill Hamid or Matt Turner?
I'm going to go Matt Turner because I can't stand Bill Hamid.
Same. Now here's a little question here: Brad Guzan or Matt Turner?
Matt Turner, because Guzan's 87 years old. It's time to move on.
All right. I can get behind that logic. I probably wouldn't have been so blunt about it. But yeah, Guzan hasn't had good seasons in Atlanta, despite Atlanta's successes, but lately they've been pretty poor. The U.S. does get a corner kick here, everyone, in the 36th minute, but it's a poorly placed kick, and Fonseca's able to come out and just pull it right out of the air, and they're looking to restart here from their back line. Now we've got David Ochoa, young guy, Ethan Horvath, another young guy overseas, Jesse Gonzalez. What do you think about some of these young keepers, or even Tyler Miller for LAFC competing with Matt Turner?
I think that they're kind of in that same boat. The young guys that are playing in MLS are probably in the same boat as Matt Turner. He just has the hot hand right now. So that's kind of that's where I put him. But hey, we got Bal Bustos on. He says, "Is this the U.S. number 2 squad?" I would say probably the number 3 squad, as you alluded to earlier, Nick. Then Jose Hernandez. I got to be honest, the TNT goalkeeper is by far the player of the match. Yes, agreed. And like we talked about earlier, it's like these guys are probably really excited when they get to play the U.S. because they're getting national television time, and they get to make a bunch of saves and look like a star because the U.S. is just going to pelt the hell out of them with the ball for a while. And Jesse Gonzalez there, Jose also says Jesse Gonzalez is better than Turner, no doubt. I would agree on skill level and talent level from what I've seen over the years. Yes, I would say he is. As far as the hot hand right now, I got to go with Turner. Here's a nice through ball shot and a nice save there by Fonseca. Ferreira makes a run in and gets the shot off. Saved by.
Oh, yeah, he really comes. He's been very aggressive, Fonseca, coming off of his line and cutting down the angle. And you need to be, because the U.S. is being much faster in the midfield and the defense. The U.S. attacking players are much faster than the Trinidadian defending players, that's for sure. So good on Fonseca. What I liked out of that, Mike, is as soon as the U.S. midfielder got some space, you just turn and push forward. I love that. None of this like, let's look around, let's set up, you get space in the midfield, you turn and go. To use an NFL phrase, you got to run north and south, right? I like that, and that's something that I loved with Pulisic that I don't think prior coaches from Berhalter figured out with him. Like Pulisic would run at defenders and make them commit, and then be able to lay a pass off, make a move around him. He would force defenders into a tough situation. But the way prior coaches and Berhalter utilized him, and even to some extent Berhalter, playing him out on the wing, having him try to do some give and go stuff, maybe isn't utilizing the best of Pulisic to his ability, but that's what you want to see. And it's great to see these young U.S. midfielders doing that very same thing. push the ball forward, get it turned, find the space, and go. I love it. I love it.
Yep. You got
Now,
it.
did you want to get back to any of this USMNT goalkeeping conversation? Because the one thing I'll add to it is you've got a lot of these young keepers like Ochoa, like who were we just talking about here, Jesse Gonzalez. The one thing you got to remember is in Berhalter's system, they use the goalkeeper as as like another defender and as another field player. Got to be good on your feet. And
ball into the middle now. Ferreira fakes the shot and loses it there. Jones takes it away for Trinidad and up to Bonval, but good chance there for Ferreira. If he didn't screw that one up, he would have been in on goal, take a nice clean shot at the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Kind of stubbed his toe on that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
But a lot of these young goalkeepers just aren't as sharp or as experienced playing it out of the back from their feet in those high pressure situations the way Stefan has become, right? So that's something to look for when we're evaluating U.S. goalkeepers as well. But that's all I'll say on that, unless you want to keep this going. I'll talk U.S. goalkeeping all day.
Well, we got a offside. We got to talk more about this game, man. It's actually starting to even out a little bit here. U.S. has kind of slowed down a bit, and now Fonset kicking it back out. It's kind of evening out a little bit. The U.S. still getting their chances. I wouldn't say even. I shouldn't say even, but looks like in mid-February the U.S. women's national team will be playing on the She Believes Cup on Fox Sports 1, February 18th against Canada, the 21st against Brazil, and the 24th against Argentina. So maybe we'll have to do one of those games, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. It'd be great to have a little live reaction watch along for some of the U.S. women. Actually, one of the latest headlines I saw, U.S. women's youth national team player Trinity Rodman. You know the last name, Mike, as a basketball fan. Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity, is in the U.S. youth system for the women's team and was just drafted by the NWSL.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even the U.S. women, there is a youth movement here, Mike. And would you look at that?
Oh, wow.
Forget the youth movement here for a second. We get a goal by Sebastian Legit.
Areola.
Sorry, Legit was over there giving him a hug. I couldn't find him. Paul Areola. How good does that have to feel if you're Paul Areola, Mike, coming back from the ACL injury to play for DC to get some of these call-ups? How good does that have to feel?
No, it's going to feel great. I mean, he talked about it pregame. It was like the best run of practices he had leading up to this one. And, I mean, it's got to be it's got to feel real good. Good goal there. Fonset almost makes another great save and gets his fingertips on it, but not enough as it hits the post and goes in. Great shot there by Areola.
Some poor defending by Trinidad there. The defender who tries to head away the initial cross just heads it right up and down to the feet of Legit, who's able to kind of set things up there for him. And again, poor defending, but good for the U.S. taking advantage of it, because that's what good teams do against inferior opponents. They take advantage of mistakes and score goals, and that's what the U.S. needs to do if they're going to beat Costa Rica, Mexico, if they're going to beat teams like Italy or Paraguay, some of the South American teams, Venezuela, Colombia. If they're going to beat those teams, when they make a mistake, the U.S. has to score a goal. They can't just rip a shot wide by 2 yards, right?
Here's Ferreira now outside of the box, blocked up by Trinidad and Tobago. But, you're right on, man. I mean, when you're playing those good teams, you got to capitalize on your chances. Here's Uweel now sending it into Acosta. Acosta, who name we really haven't said a lot tonight, as the number 10. Lets the dummy go. Areola wasn't making the run there, and it ends up going to Fonset. But overall, great start to the night for the three forwards. The wingers forward, combo there, the hybrid. Acosta not doing much. Uweel's had some good crosses in. I don't know. I'm not really, Legit and Acosta have kind of been really absent in the midfield. Legit's made a few passes. And here he is with the ball now, makes a nice pass out to Jonathan Lewis, who sends it up to Ferreira. Ferreira should have been offside, goes back to Acosta or to Lewis, and it was called
offside. Is that I'm looking at some of the stats here and some of the social media conversation. 3 assists for Jesus Ferreira this first half. Does it feel like that? Imagine that, man.
Right. Yeah, and a goal as well. I think he got that goal that should have been offside. So not a bad night for Jesus Ferreira, making a stamp on this game for sure.
It's so funny. I'm scrolling through Twitter looking for tidbits here and looking for some talking points and whatnot. And I've got like literally 2 tweets back to back. One of them says DK needs to start. Ferreira's not cutting it. And then the next tweet is Ferreira has 3 assists in the first half. Like, what? Like, is the first guy being ironic?
Right? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Got to play misplayed there by Vines as they show the bench. I mean, who do you expect to see in the second half for the U.S.? I mean, I'm thinking we're going to see Zimmerman coming in.
Turn it over. Man.
I don't see Long playing the full game. I think also maybe Pineda as well for Robinson, who hasn't done much, but really none of the defenders have done anything. Mueller, I can't wait to see Mueller. I want to see this kid go in there and score a hat trick. Kid brings energy. He's after it every time he's on the field, especially in Orlando in front of his home fans. Love to see Chris Mueller get into the game.
Another big save by Fonset there from 10 yards out, Mike. Like the U.S. Is really working the crosses and then doing a little 1-2 action when it gets into the box. And Fonset with another save. That could have been 5-0. What I just loved seeing, Mike, Berhalter in the 44th minute is up, jumping up, animated on the sideline, screaming at his guys to do what they need to do, to coaching them up still. I love it. He saw that the tempo was slowing down. He saw that the team was starting to get a little lax, and he's fired them up, and the team's responding. They get possession right back. They create a chance. TNT clears it out. USA's back in possession again. So that tells me that whatever Berhalter's preaching and whatever he's building from a cultural standpoint, it's totally working because these guys respond to him.
Yeah, no, for sure. So about 30 seconds left before the halftime whistle. Great first half from the U.S. That's all I can say. We'll take a short break here for halftime, and then we'll be back for the second half. Hopefully, we'll see some wholesale changes here. Ball goes out for some reason. Ferreira was
right there.
We let it go, and they ended up blowing the whistle anyway.
They were both offside. That's the
it looked like maybe both of them were. But it should be the whistle here at this point. So there it is, and halftime it is. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our awesome soccer content. And as well, throw us a super chat. Now's a great time. Halftime, as soon as you get back from the second half, would appreciate it. And all that money goes right back into the podcast to continue to grow the game of soccer here in the United States. That is our goal. And get yourself a shout out as well on YouTube. So we'll be back in a little bit, halftime, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. And so are you. All right, so we're back here, second half. Got to get the scoreboard figured out here. Just switched up the background as well. I got like the green feeling here. And I think we want to focus more on super chats rather than cash apps going forward. So, Nick, a couple changes here in the U.S. side. Who do we got coming in?
So I actually have been just all over Twitter, so I got to go pull up the actual ones here. We've got Ferreira coming in for the United States. This has been big news for USMNT. He was playing with Colombia in his youth days, played in 2 Youth World Cups for Colombia, and recently made the switch to the United States. He had a great season for Orlando City, helping them get to their first ever playoffs in their MLS history. And this guy could be, if you look at the ceiling, he could be that kind of center defensive midfielder of the future for the United States. If you look at his floor, then he's kind of a depth piece when it comes to CONCACAF competitions. But he's definitely a guy in the mix. It's awesome that Berhalter has been able to get him, along with a couple of other dual nationals, to come up to camps to get looks to potentially make the switch, or in his case, make the switch. And Mike, we're a minute in, and we've already got the U.S. coming down on a break, and they just are able, the Trinidadian defenders just able to get a toe on it to take it off of Lewis's foot as he is going in on goal there. But U.S. picking up where they left off with an early attack there.
Great run there by Herrera, and then pass across to Lewis. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get on the end there. The defender ended up getting to it, but good start so far for the U.S. team. Not a whole bunch of changes, which I'm surprised.
Right, Pereira comes in for legit. That was the one sub we've seen. Yeah,
so Pereira getting in for legit is awesome. We got some chat action over here. We got Jan Step is back. Says smash that like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well as the subscribe button down below. And talking about subscribing, Soccer09 says almost to 2,000 subs. We are so close. We're at like 1945 or something like that right now. Here's a chance for the U.S. Jonathan Lewis cuts it back into the middle. It goes behind Ferreira and Areola, and now out of the box. Anyways, that there. We also have Jeremiah on Bascom. Jeremiah Bascom, thanks for joining. And as well, Arnott Lord on Facebook. Thanks for joining. What's the score?
What's up, everyone on Facebook?
What's that?
I said, what's up, everybody on Facebook? Great to have you watching with us.
We got Twitter rolling as well. So it's 21 watching on Facebook right now, 31 on YouTube, and 2 on Twitter. So thanks for joining. And then we got BKL, brother BKL Contreras. Hey, Sons of Pitch, he's back from watching Caribbean Series baseball. And the Dominican Republic wins over Puerto Rico. Not bad. Can't wait for baseball season to start. Toronto Blue Jays, can't wait for that to start.
Nice hat,
for my Jays. So here is Miles Robinson now with the ball for the U.S. Thanks for joining everybody and hanging out. Miles Robinson sending it over to Aaron Long, which I gotta say, if Aaron Long is looking at a loan deal to Liverpool that is in the works right now, Liverpool, like that Liverpool, what in the hell is he doing on the field for more than 45 minutes or at all, in my opinion, for a U.S. men's national team friendly that means absolutely nothing?
You're right, Mike. If that's the case, especially in consistency's sake for Berhalter and the coaching staff here, because they already said they benched Josie because they don't want to mess. Possible he transfers. Right. He's being a target of a lot of transfer speculation. Doesn't want to take that away from the clubs. So they're preserving him. He could probably be fit to play if they really needed him, but they don't really need him, and so he's sitting out. So for consistency's sake, you're right. I don't know why you're giving Long more than 45 minutes here. I was doing some reading at halftime. That deal may not have been as close to being completed as was initially reported. So there's still a long ways to go for that. And honestly, I think today is the end of the transfer window in England. So might not work out at all. Here we go. Matt Turner actually had to touch the ball here, Mike. Trinidad plays a long ball over the top into the box, and it just kind of gets behind everybody, and Turner with just, the routine pickup of the ball. But I don't know if that'll count as a save.
I don't know, but we
Maybe?
just got a super chat, $20 super chat from Jamie Polney.
Oh.
Thank
Hey,
you very
Jamie.
much, Jamie. Appreciate that. That is by far the biggest super chat we've gotten here on this channel. So, wow, appreciate that. Love the picture too. That is awesome. So
That's great,
everybody
Jamie.
else,
Thank you.
hit that super chat. Let's get this thing going here. Appreciate that, Jamie. Really, really awesome. Thank you so much. $20. That will help grow the game of soccer here in the US of A. Man, what a foul there on Herrera by the defender for Trinidad Tobago.
That's Josiah Trimmingham, and he throws a shoulder into the back, and he ends up twisting his knee when he comes down from that. So that is he either twists his knee or he takes a bit of a cleat as the Ferreira goes down there. Right? How ridiculous is that? He makes a crazy foul, terrible thing, and then he's the one that ends up getting hurt out of it. So just not smart by Trimmingham at all. He's only been in 2 international games for Trinidad Tobago, so he's going to learn the hard way, quite literally. But you look at that guy, that is a big man, Mike. If he can keep pace with some of these fast CONCACAF players, and if he can get a little smarter, he's going to be a force for TNT in the back. That's a big man, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on mute over here because my daughter is upstairs getting like a piece of glass taken out of her foot, and she's screaming like a complete maniac.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here, let me tell you a little more about Trinidad's defender, Josiah Trimmingham, 24-year-old, 6 foot, 190 pounds. So definitely a guy who can play some good defense as the U.S. gets their 5th goal and their first one of the second half off of that free kick from the aforementioned foul given up by Trimmingham. The ball is lobbed to the far post. It is headed back across to the middle and then headed into the net. Looks like Robinson with the goal.
This is embarrassing.
How do you like that, Mike? Nobody is playing defense for Trinidad Tobago. Long and Robinson are laughing because of just how easy that was for them. That's ridiculous. There's 4 or 5 U.S. attackers to like 3 Trinidad defenders in the box there.
Yeah, I mean it's like Trinidad and Tobago wasn't ready for it at all. That was That was not pretty for Trinidad's defending. But I mean Aaron Long into Miles Robinson. He gets there and heads it home. 5-0 USA. We've got a couple chats here going on. We got Ron Eagle 20. Hey, everyone, sending love from Trinidad and Tobago. Well done so far to the U.S. Thank you so much from that. And, I wish I could say the same about Trinidad, but it's been a rough game for them. Hey, we also have Bobby, my mother-in-law, on Facebook, watching from Florida. And she says, which daughter is screaming? That would be Sarah. Nana, Sarah is screaming like a banshee right now. And, so enjoy Florida. Say hi to everybody down there for me.
Just to wrap up my conversation there on Josiah Trimmingham, also a name for you U.S. fans to watch because he is playing for Ford Madison in the USL, which is the Chicago Fire's USL affiliate. So if he can continue to develop and grow, you might see him here at Soldier Field. You might see him lace up for the Fire someday soon, maybe. Something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, we get a yellow card here to Mitchell for coming in with studs up on a tackle there against the U.S. player there, buddy. So, Mike,
that's close to a red there. That is close to a red for me. That was a nasty tackle, and then just comes back with the scissors to take him down. I mean, that was nasty. To me, that could have been a red. Looks like we got some more presents from Trinidad on Facebook. Keston Althauser, thanks for coming on. And again, big ups to Jamie for that $20 super chat. Absolutely awesome. Really appreciate that. And you guys can get in on that and send us a super chat. Anything is a big help. So thank you to Jamie. And 5-0 USA, man. This is beautiful.
Right. So it's 5-0. We just rolled into the 55th minute here. What I want to see now, Mike, is the subs. Let's get the subs going. Let's see, speaking of Chicago Fire defenders, let's see Mauricio Pineda get his first cap for the United States. Let's see Walker Zimmerman get subbed in for Aaron Long and watch Pineda and Zimmerman kind of work the back line together. I mean, that could be a great combo for the U.S. defense going forward. And oh my goodness, Mike, they got to put the subs in now. Somebody get Ferreira out of there.
Oh, wow.
He's just doing too much. He's doing too much right now.
Wow.
6-0 U.S.
with his second goal. 6-0 now.
That was a beautiful strike, Mike. Lewis comes from – was that Ferreira with the assist, lobbing it back from the midfield there, or was that Acosta?
I'm not sure.
Are we finally calling Kellen Acosta's name on that one?
Kellen Acosta with the long ball over the top.
Excellent.
And, just a nice move, cutting back into the middle, going at that far post. Positioning was horrible by Fonset, who's been really good tonight. And Jonathan Lewis smashes it home 6-0, man.
Man, good cut by Lewis to get around the defender. Strikes
Absolutely.
it hard and low between the two defenders. And, yeah, that's nothing but the back of the net. You're right. Fonset looked like he was cheating near post a little bit there. I don't think he was going to save that no matter how good of a position he was in. And it's nice to call Kellen Acosta's name. Someone we haven't talked about much in the first half or kind of at all for the USMNT recently. So getting that assist, picking out Lewis on the switch there, good eye by Kellen Acosta. That's something that Berhalter is going to really like to see because they like those diagonal passes in that system. They like picking them out on the counterattack. So that definitely is going to get noticed by the U.S. coaching staff. We'll see if Kellen Acosta then can kind of play himself back into a call-up for some of these big U.S. competitions coming up. Where do you stand on Kellen Acosta here, Mike? Do you think he's got a future with the USMNT, or is he just going to be more of we need some depth here and there, let's call him up?
It's just kind of, I think, give him another chance. I mean, I don't see it. He was kind of the next big thing for a few years and then never really panned out. I don't see it. I don't see anything really happening for him in this one. Maybe just let's give him a January call-up, see if maybe we want to bring him into another camp. But yeah, I don't really see it for him. And Janstep with this one. Speaking of subs, subscribe now, everyone. Thanks. Damn straight, Janstep. Everybody hit that subscribe button down below. And I think we're sitting right now at 1949. So let's try and get to 2,000
tonight. For sure.
If we can't get
real quick on
as well. Says Go USA. Good stuff. 57th minute now, and almost the 58th.
Real quick on Kellen Acosta, Mike, only 25 years old. So he definitely has, 2, 3, 4 more years of peak physical condition ahead of him. He spent his whole career in MLS. He was with Dallas from 2013 to 2018, and then has since been with the Colorado Rapids. So everyone in U.S. soccer knows Kellen Acosta. Maybe that works against him, that he's almost too familiar, right? And playing as a midfielder in a very deep midfield talent pool right now also might be working against him. But you know what? He's got 25 senior call-ups to his name. Maybe he ends up with 30 by the end of this next year, just because of all the international games coming up. We'll see. But he's definitely a guy you can count on when you need a Gold Cup starter, when you need a Nations League starter. I'm very comfortable if Kellen Acosta is in a starting lineup.
Yeah, for sure. So while we've got a second here as Trinidad tries to clear it out, we're working on a partnership here with Raise Energy, Rep Sports. We are looking to join their affiliate program. They sent me this sample pack here, this flavor here, the Galaxy Burst, absolutely fantastic. So, guys, you can get Raise Energy at GNC. Go get it. It is awesome, an awesome energy drink. Tastes amazing. It's got no sugar, none of that stuff. Awesome energy drink with electrolytes, BCAA, aminos, no crash, no sugar. This stuff is great. So make sure you head over to GNC or you get it on Amazon or right through Rep Sports directly. Raise Energy. Check it out. One of my favorite flavors right here for the Galaxy Burst.
Galaxy Burst, beautiful. Gone are the days of energy drinks that are just sugar and caffeine. These things got vitamins in there and doing everything else to help you, at least to feel healthy while you're doing it to a certain degree.
Absolutely. No, I mean, these things are great. There's absolutely no crash at all. Like, you drink it, it gets you pumped real quick, and then all of a sudden, 2.5 hours later, you just feel normal. It's great. It's good stuff. So
we got some movement here going on, Mike, on the U.S. bench. It looks like DK is up, Roldan is up.
Nice.
Trying to see who else. Mueller's up, getting some instruction on the tablets there from the coaching staff. In the meantime, it looks like Trimmingham for Trinidad Tobago is down again, getting worked on by the trainers. So looks like his night might be over as well. Tough to see a guy go down with injury. Again, on a silly challenge, you really hate to see it, but that he's got to be smarter than what he did during that play. Now, let's say, Mike, you get Mueller, you get DK in. What are you expecting from these guys? Obviously, you're expecting them to score. It's 6-0 already. We got a half hour of game time left. What are you expecting from them, though?
No, I mean, I'd like to see. I just want to see him get in the game and score some goals. I don't know what they're looking at on the tablet there, other than get out there, Mueller, keep doing what you do on the wings, and as the Trinidad player going off on the stretcher here. So, you know what? You had a dirty tackle there earlier in the game, and now he's going off. Karma came back to bite him pretty quick on that one, I'd say.
Yeah. I'm not going to call it dirty. I'm going to call it stupid.
Altidore is on the ground again.
Oh, geez.
Nice. And then Jay Jardim says, does this end 8 or 10-0? It very well may. Especially with the subs coming on, I could see 8 easily. Cesar Gonzalez has joined us. He says this is amazing. And and then we also have a chat here from Jamie. She said, it didn't add my chat. Please do the U.S. women's games in February. All right, so U.S. soccer fan through and through, Jamie, for that super chat. We'll have to see what we can do. So thank you so much, and we will see.
I got to tell you, Jamie, I've got a 6-year-old girl at home here, and getting her to start watching sports is going to start with U.S. women's soccer. So she and I will definitely be watching, and whether or not we're doing some Sons of a Pitch broadcast here, just make sure you subscribe so you can get those alerts. But there's no doubt about it. Oh, long. As we're pitching that, Mike, no doubt, goal number 7 just comes through.
Jesus Ferreira from Paul Areola. Stop it. Just stop it. This is ridiculous.
We were talking about like throwing subs in and seeing other guys, and Trinidad Tobago also is making some substitutions. Just sub out Fonset for his own mental health at this point. Like, that guy, the scoreline is 7-0. He's already come up with like 4 or 5 big saves, and they're he's shell shocked back there. Like, the TNT coach, just take him out for his own health. I mean, do they even have another goalie on the bench at this point? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm guessing they don't. So, no, I mean, they usually would have a second goalie, but damn, for this guy, 2 goals now for Ferreira, 3 assists. Welcome to USMNT, Mr. Ferreira.
There we go, and here we go. The U.S. is getting all their subs in. Who's number 21 for the U.S., Mike? Who is that coming in? George Bello.
Bello coming in.
Another player in the defenders' depth pool, right? Like, he's another guy who has been playing very well for Atlanta. Is that right?
Yeah, Bello's with Atlanta.
Sorry, I was thinking Jerso for SKC. This is George Bello. You're right. He's been playing well for Atlanta, anchoring it down for the back of them. Despite not getting good results this last season, he is a star on the rise. And honestly, he's a young guy here, I think, if I recall. Let me pull up his profile here. Yeah, 19-year-old George Bello.
Yep.
Gosh, it's weird seeing a birthday in the year 2002. Just kind of really makes me feel old, Mike. But right? He's getting in. Sam Vines is coming off, and we're seeing pretty much the U.S. emptying their bench here with about half hour left.
Yeah. So the subs coming out here. Cheers to Jesus Ferreira for that amazing performance. 2 goals and 3 assists. Last kick of the game, and his night's over. Same with Uweel. He's out. Christian Roldan coming into the game. Now Daryl DK, I mean, he's got to score here. He has to score in this game to keep that positive energy flowing around DK, right? I mean, you would think.
Oh, for sure. Are there 4 Orlando City players on the field right now for the U.S. national team?
I don't know about 4. I know Ferreira, DK, and Mueller. I don't know who the 4th would be.
Ferreira, DK, and Mueller. I'm trying to remember. Benji Michel.
Benji Michel. Did he actually come in?
No, he did not come in. But here we go, Mike. Here's your moment of controversy.
Oh, look at this.
Penalty is awarded to Trinidad and Tobago in the 65th minute. I'm gonna have to see this again and see how much
that,
contact
man. That was weak. That was Ryan Telfer going for a dive there. I don't think he actually got kicked in the head.
And it was Ryan Telfer. Oh, look at this.
It was. Leave it to the guy who has the MLS experience. Well, his nose is a little red. Maybe he did catch a boot to the nose. Let's see. Flicks it over Ferreira.
I guess that's technically a high boot. It was definitely a good move by Telfer to get behind Ferreira. Again, sorry that it has to happen to Ferreira, a guy that we've been very high on. And Matt Turner.
Matt Turner, here you go.
This is a huge moment for him now.
It really is.
I mean,
we love the chance. He's not doing anything all night. Here's the chance.
And he stops the penalty.
Oh, there you go, Matt Turner. Staying in the conversation. I love it.
Go, Matt Turner. That's phenomenal goalkeeping from him. I was just saying, we all love Zach Steffen, and he made a huge name for himself stopping penalties in MLS shootouts. And now Matt Turner is doing it on the international level. Who cares if it's Trinidad and Tobago? Is that the first save he's had to make all night? Like, that is
that is the first save he's had all night.
That's awesome.
And then that's it. I mean, I didn't think they were even going to get a shot on goal, to be honest with you. And Ed Cesar says, Gonzalez says, saved, OMG. And then I'm ahead of you, so I'm going to stay quiet. Mine's ahead. Nice, appreciate that. And we got Diego Corando on as well. Oh, Coronado. Misspelled that there, mispronounced it. Guys, hit that subscribe button down below. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. So if you're hanging out with us, we do all MLS, all CONCACAF, all kinds of soccer. So hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell as well. And that way you don't miss any of our awesome soccer content. So do us that favor. We've already had a few super chats tonight as well. So thank you for Jamie for that amazing $20 super chat, as well as Toronto Sports Insider. Thank you for that. And you guys can get in on that party as well with the super chats. Replay there of Matt Turner's save. He read it right the whole way, guessed the right way the whole way. And boom, there you go.
Love it. Hey, also want to give a quick shout out to Luis. See you in Chicago. Great to have you back on the chat, man. We're looking to see if Pineda can get in. I'm gonna have to check right now to see if the United States has used all of their substitutions.
Friendly. I don't think they even count that.
I think you get 6 in a friendly, or is it unlimited in a friendly? You just can't bring guys back.
I thought it was unlimited.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 subs already.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll have to look that up, Mike, because I thought you just got 6 in a friendly. But anyway, would love to see Pineda get in there as well and kind of, cut his teeth with the USMNT a little bit. But, wouldn't surprise me if Berhalter just lets this current squad play out the last 25-ish minutes or so. So, Mike, we've seen the young strikers and the young midfielders score. We've seen Matt Turner come up and make a big save. You've got Aaron Long, who's kind of anchoring a decent back line there for the United States. What more do we need to do in this game right now, buddy? Do you need to see the coaching staff go sell popcorn in the stands?
Nice one in. DK with a chance, shoots it wide, gets blocked by Trinidad. First chance of the night there for DK. Now, we don't have to see anything else. I mean, it's 7-0. I'm in disbelief that Miles Robinson and Aaron Long are still in this game. But there's absolutely nothing else to see from this team. I mean, they've come out, they've kicked Trinidad and Tobago in the teeth, and then they stepped on their throat and said, "You're not getting anything here." They're still playing hard. The subs have come in and seem to have played hard. A rough penalty to at least allow Matt Turner to do something in this game. But yeah, there's really nothing you need to see in this. We've got the answers. Now it's time to get into some competitive soccer. Now we've got to get into our World Cup qualifying, get into the Nations League stuff. Let's get into the hardcore games here. Bring over the guys from Europe, mix in some of these MLS guys, have your depth pieces, and let's get on with it. It's time. We've built this up ever since 2018. It was the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. It was like this huge low in American soccer, and then it
Right.
just has been this huge lull ever since then for the past really 3 to 4 years. Well, now that we're heading into World Cup qualifying again, it's time to go after it with that new mindset that we're seeing right now with this team, with the team that came in the December camp, with that unbelievable tenacity that says, hey, nothing is given. We don't go into World Cup qualifying saying we got this. We're ranked in, we're into it. We've got this. No. You go in, you know what? We've got to win every single game, and we've got to step on their throats in order to do so. And sorry that I'm being so violent about stepping on people's throats. But good sports cliche, you got to fight for it. And it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're playing Trinidad and Tobago, if you're playing Grenada, if you're playing St. Kitts and Nevis, it doesn't matter. You got to go for it, as DK just can't get his boot on it to smash it home. But
who was that got in the way? Was that Roldan that got tangled up with him up there, or which other player? It looked like they were both going for the ball, and DK couldn't smash it on a one-timer there, and then he had to try and dribble around his defender. Lewis again? All right, well, I guess you can't fault Lewis. He's feeling it right now, right?
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, but no, they've got to get after it. I mean, I can't wait to see some competitive matches. I mean, look at what we're doing now. Let's get into these competitive matches and get after it.
Hey, there's Trinidad and Tobago with a shot. It goes about 4 yards over the crossbar. Turner doesn't make a move for it. He knows how poor of a shot that was. But Trinidad and Tobago, one of those guys at least says, you know what, gosh darn it, I'm gonna have a rip. I'm not leaving the stadium without taking a shot. And he goes for it through the uprights. It would have been 3 points, but there we go. Hey, speaking of some of the stats here on this one, Mike, as we sit right now in the 70th minute, USA dominating possession, 73-27. Shots on goal, 12 for the U.S., 1 for Trinidad and Tobago. That penalty that was saved. And then fouls, though, 10 fouls called against the U.S., 6 against TNT. So not a very physical game. I think the ref has done a pretty good job of just letting it play out. He knows it's a friendly. On some of those bad challenges, he reached for his pocket, that's for sure. So I'm okay with the way the official has been today. But the USA's got 5 offsides on that one, so they're definitely pushing the attack, as we saw that first half where they got the majority of those offside calls.
Here's a nice little chance here for Ferreira. Nice pass from DK, but Ferreira gets some defender gets on him pretty well. Now a little backheel nutmeg from Ferreira, and a whistle's blown. I'm guessing offside. But
there's another one.
Play from Ferreira, too. I mean, I've liked what I've seen there. We got a comment on Facebook here from Hollis or Hollis. Nice, lively podcast, listening from Trinidad. Thank you so much for coming to hang out there from all the way from Trinidad. And make sure you follow us there on Facebook. We go live with our MLS podcast every single Monday or Tuesday night. It'll be Tuesday this week, usually on Monday nights. But thanks for hanging out with us all the way from Trinidad. We've picked up a few listeners from Trinidad. It's been fun tonight.
Absolutely, Mike. And hopefully with all the viewers from the Caribbean here, maybe it'll start to melt the, what are we at, 11 inches of snow that has piled up in my front yard today.
Yeah.
So get some Caribbean weather vibes going here, everybody. Thank you.
Right? Thank you. Amen to that. We need it, man. We need it. Here comes Trinidad now, kind of coming to life here a little bit. They've had the ball in the attacking half, probably more in the last 5 minutes than they've had it all game. Long ball over the top, cleared by Long, goes over to Ferreira. So this Ferreira kid, getting some interest
I don't know
in
about
Italy.
Him.
What do you think for him in Italy? Is this something that you think? Do you think he'll actually head over to Italy? I mean, what are you seeing from this?
So I don't know too much about Aaron Ferreira. Looking at his bio here, 23-year-old defender, currently plays for Real Salt Lake here in the MLS. So he's had some time with the US U20s as well, and then played for Real Monarchs, the USL team, prior to coming up to the senior team to RSL here. Meanwhile, the USA is back in the box trying to work it around a little bit, and just a little too tricky there for DK, and it goes out for a corner kick. I'm sorry, for a goal kick there. It looks like he's had one season in the MLS, started most of the games, so he's getting consistent minutes here for RSL. I don't know too much about him. 5'11", 157, so not a small guy by any means. Looks to be more of a true defender. If he's going to go to Italy, he's going to have to be speedy and learn how to play offensive football, attacking from that wingback position. That's for sure. So I don't know if he has that in him, but you know what? Like we were saying before, Mike, right now the trend in international soccer is sign young Americans. Like, you come over here, scout these guys in MLS. If they have any sort of promise, just sign them. You'll get a deal on them. And what's the worst that can happen? You sell them back to MLS and you break even on them, right? After getting some time out of them. So I think that's part of why he's getting looks from the Italian league. But additionally, I think he's a decent player, right? RSL had an okay season last year. I think they finished top half of the Western Conference. Did they finish top of the playoff bracket too? Were they number 4 over there? I forget exactly, but anchoring a defense, a guy who's got some experience against some good MLS strikers. What clubs are you hearing that he's going to or garnering interest from in Serie A? I mean, I doubt like Juventus and Inter Milan are looking at him, but maybe like the Sampdoria or Fiorentina might want to be.
Actually, Genoa and Cagliari.
Okay.
Were the ones that are looking at him. So kind of mid-table type teams. Nothing crazy, but again, some decent sides. So I'd love to see him go over. There's not a lot of Americans in Serie A, so I'd love to see it. And who knows? He's impressed me tonight. He's played well.
Yeah, that's for sure. You don't have to talk. You're not talking about him too much, which for a defender, probably not the worst thing to do.
Right.
He, according to the website Transfer Market, he's valued at about $1.32 million as of their December evaluation of him. So he can play right back, he can play left back, and you know what? For less than $2 million, that'd be a pretty decent signing for like you said, a middle table Serie A team to just kind of shore up their back line a little bit and maybe get some spot starts out of a guy. Those middle table teams who want to maybe grab a trophy in a domestic cup and you need depth to do that. So it could be a good place for him to go. Meanwhile, we got another defender here, Tanner Tessman, making his debut tonight, coming in for the aforementioned Aaron Ferreira. So let's see Tessman, who has had a standout season with Dallas. And Mike, if I remember, he had an excellent game against Portland Timbers in the MLS Cup playoffs. If I recall, Dallas actually advanced past the Timbers in that game, right?
Yeah, they did. Yep, that was when they actually beat the Timbers there in penalty kicks. And he had a very good game, and good to see him getting a chance here and getting a cap for the U.S.
Right, and as they, of course, you have to do. It's a big story for us here in football crazed America. Dabo Sweeney, Clemson's head coach, is Tanner Tessman's godfather. Tessman actually had a scholarship to go kick for Clemson, ended up foregoing that to go play for FC Dallas, and now he's on the pitch for the USMNT. So I guess you got to say he made the right decision. For that, he's playing professional soccer. He's playing at the highest level in the United States instead of kicking field goals for Clemson. So great moment for him. Only going to be on the rise. Keep an eye on him. He's the next guy who's going to be getting looks from overseas. And Mike, what else you got to add right now as we look at Tessman's family and Sweeney and those guys in the stands there?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, it's good to see. I think Tessman's a good player. I think I think he's on that list of guys moving over to Europe at some point. Probably not this year, maybe next. Long ball off the free kick sent in, looking for Aaron Long, and he comes up hobbling. So wouldn't that be something if he just went down to the ground? Wouldn't that be something if there was a deal on the line to go to Liverpool and then it gets screwed up by an injury? Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, well, you've been saying it all game, Mike. I almost think you want it to happen.
I kind of do, because I think it's a bunch of bullshit that they're even linking him with Liverpool. But here's a nice ball over to Lewis. Lewis sends it up. Oh, and blocked from rolled on there, but he was offside. I think it's a load of crap, man. I mean, Aaron Long's not good enough for Liverpool. Maybe like a Brighton Hove and Albion, maybe at max an Everton, right? Maybe just
thanks, friend.
Yeah, hey, no problem, man. I'm sorry, but Everton, they're kind of like, they're always flirting with kind of trying to get into like the top tier, and it never happens.
They always end up somewhere between 7 and 10.
Right. So, but there's obviously nothing on the line, because there's no way. I mean, if this was World Cup qualifier where the team had to win and he was the best option at center back, then yes, I could see that, where they're like, nope, sorry, you got to play, dude. Like, it doesn't matter what's on the line here, transfer wise or anything like that. But this is a friendly, man. He ain't going anywhere. Red Bulls have shut him down. Red Bulls have totally shut down Aaron Long, and it really sucks. I mean, you see Caden Clark moves over to Red Bull Leipzig, I believe, right? Or did he go to Salzburg?
I think he was at Leipzig, so he's in the Bundesliga, yeah.
Right, so he's in the Bundesliga. I mean, the kid just came up through he was playing with our buddy Joe Falla with Red Bulls too, gets up to MLS, has 7-8 good games, and boom, he's off. What are they doing with Aaron Long? I mean, they're – either one, there's absolutely no interest for this guy overseas. Or number two, they're like, no, we need him. He is that important to our team that we will never sell him. I don't really know what it is, but
well, from what you were saying in the first half, there were English championship sides who were interested in him, but they couldn't meet the Red Bull demands as far as a transfer fee or a price on him, right? But the reality is Aaron Long's a 28-year-old MLS defender, right? So despite his USMNT experience and as good of an MLS defender as he's been over the last, I don't know how many seasons. Hey, Mike, your volume came in from the game there, buddy.
All right. Getting too quiet. My background noise is too quiet there. It's picking up by the mic that my kids aren't screaming, the birds aren't going nuts, the dogs aren't going crazy.
Yeah.
So somebody, can you tell us the real score?
I'm still hearing the game, dude.
You're still hearing the game. All right. Well, we'll just mute it. How about that? DK shoots it over and gets blocked out. We're going to have a corner kick there. Somebody asking if can tell us the real score. That is the real score. 7-0. United States is the real score. Thanks for checking. And then Ackle Griffith on Facebook as well saying, could you all show the game, please? No, we cannot. Can't even hear the game because we'll get hit with a copyright. And we don't want that, especially when
what I was hearing was ESPN started playing some random videos for me as I was looking up Aaron Long's profile here. So thanks a lot, ESPN, for messing with me, and my apologies to you, Mike, and the listeners on that one. Yeah,
I'm like, wow, that's impressive that my microphone is picking up my earbud, my good expensive earbuds, my Samsung Galaxy buds that have like 12-hour battery life, so I can make it through a few lives.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. I'll take that one. I'll buy your next Rays energy drink. I got your next one. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully with Rays, these guys will be pitching this. Get it at your local GNC, and we'll hopefully have a link down here shortly and be part of the affiliate program. They're recruiting, and we'll see if that comes through. So thanks to Rays Energy for the sample pack. We got a few more. It sucks, man. We got the Apollo. Which is like a red, white, and blue can. And I was going to use that tonight. And then I'm like, but wait a minute, the blue screen will make the can look kind of funny. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We'll go with the Galaxy Burst. And damn, it's good. Very, very good. Nice taste. They've got like sour gummy worms, all that kind of real crazy type of flavors. But whatever. It's good stuff.
Cool. So anyways, to finish up my conversation on Aaron Long before I interrupted myself, pretty much he's 28 years old. So I don't know how much Red Bulls is holding out to get for him. They want a champion. They want a Premier League team to buy him. They want a Serie A team to buy him, so they can make a few million on the transfer fee. Not a championship club who's going to come in and say, "We'll give you 1-2 million tops for it," and then MLS is going to take their cut of it. So I can see holding out, because is it really worth it to dump a guy of Aaron Long's importance to that club for anything less than 2 million? I don't know. I don't know what their finances are. And here's the other thing, Mike. The way the finances are in MLS right now, due to all the COVID concerns and everything there, like, teams are holding on to assets unless they can get a really good return for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Long ball in by Acosta, gets cleared up by Trinidad. Long shot now from Tessman. Goes way wide, rolled on, actually running, trying to get it before it goes out to the touchline.
That looked like that went off his shin guard there.
Yeah, totally.
And if we're talking Tessman, shout out to Kelly Cicero Tessman, one of our new Twitter followers, who looks like she is a big fan of Tanner's, if not
Nice.
of relation. So Kelly, if you're listening or if you're out there, thanks for supporting us on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, the mask is off for the Trinidad coach. He was wearing his mask earlier. It looked like it was pissing him off. He finally ripped it off. 86th minute now. And
so how do you feel about this, Mike? We've got about 5 or 6 minutes left in this game. How do you feel about the U.S.'s performance? What's your takeaway as we look toward qualifying, Nations League, all the other stuff?
I'm happy with the result. I'm glad that the kids showed up tonight. They're playing hard. I can't ask for anything more than a big time victory over Trinidad and Tobago, which is what I expected.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really makes a difference in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about competitive soccer with the Nations League, with your World Cup qualifying coming up, because these guys aren't going to be on the field, right? Pulisic's not there. Sargent's not there. Josie Altidor's not there. I'm just kidding. Michael Bradley's not there. No. All right, I got to stop. But really, the guys that are going to be on the field aren't there. So for me, it doesn't really make a difference in that. The only thing it does do is say, hey, we're rolling right now. The feeling around U.S. soccer is a good one. Now, that could also come back to bite you in the ass, too, if it gets too good. Like, oh, yeah, look at us, man. We're back. We're whooping Trinidad 7-0. We beat Bolivia 12-0, and we got Belize coming up, and then all of a sudden you get overconfident, and then you turn back into what lost us and didn't qualify for 2018. So I think it's a good thing. I can't wait for the competitive matches. I can't wait to see the Yunus Musas, the Serginho Dests, all the big names, all these guys coming in, Tim Way, Josh Sargent, Pulisic. I can't wait to watch those guys, and maybe one or two of these guys as well coming into that game playing well. I can't wait for that. But when does World Cup qualifying start again for the U.S.?
So for the U.S., I think it starts like August to October, sometime in there. It's a while because they're still waiting for the other two teams to qualify for the octagonal.
Right. They haven't even started yet.
They're starting up February, March for some of those games. So we're going to have those games being played where you see a lot of the Caribbean nations. And I don't know, is Canada part of that mix too, Mike? In qualifying. So hey, maybe Canada gets into the octagonal, and then we get to see some more USA Canada matchups here.
They should. I mean, looking at the matchups that Canada has, they should. If they don't, that's going to reset Canada soccer back big time. So I think they should get through, and that'll set up some good games. But I can't wait to do these USMNT games for World Cup qualifying. It's going to be a lot of fun. But
here, I just pulled up the schedule. US's first World Cup qualifying game is in September.
Okay.
So it's from September 2021 through March 2022. And yeah, we're still waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 teams to come through from the rest of the qualifying. We've got U.S., Mexico, Costa Rica, your typical top 3 in CONCACAF, joined by Jamaica and Honduras are your top 5. And then we got 4 more teams who are coming in through 1, 2, 3, or 3 more teams coming through. Sorry, I thought my math was off there for a second. 3 plus 5 is 8. So we'll have 3 more teams coming through from qualifying. Likely Canada. Likely, I don't know. Who else would you think? Panama, maybe. They've been
could be Panama as well. Jay Jardine, Canada. I'm with you, Jay.
And then, maybe this Trinidad Tobago team, like they have been a little bit on the up. And if this current squad gets a lot more experience, again, we saw that they have 8 guys playing in MLS and USL, as well as 2 others playing for top clubs in Central America. So they are not to be taken lightly. Curacao is on the rise in CONCACAF as well. So if they play out of their minds, they might sneak in as well. All those dual Dutch Curacao international guys who aren't going to make the Netherlands squad coming over and playing here in Curacao. So a lot to see, but again, for the U.S., that all starts in September.
Yeah. Yep, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to actually watch some of the Canada games too. And there we go. No stoppage time in this one at all.
Full 90, mercifully by the official.
Yes, very. That's the right call. I mean, there's no need to keep this going at 7-0. So I mean, there you have it, man. Great result for the United States in this young January camp. You love to see it. We've talked a lot about it so far. I mean, any final thoughts on this? I'm just ready for MLS to start back up, man. Let's get a deal done between the MLSPA and the league, so that we can see some
for sure. And I like Bunny Mayaro's comment here on Facebook. TNT's not going to qualify with this coach. He needs help. He looked a little upset at the end of this game here, yelling at his team. So, again, I give TNT credit, and I thank Trinidad Tobago for accepting to play this game on such short notice, because we couldn't get any European clubs to commit to the travel and come on over. So thank you, Trinidad Tobago, for giving our young guys some work. But Mike, a lot of these young guys are going to end up playing in the Olympics for the U.S. They're going to be part of that U23 team that goes over and plays in Tokyo, I believe. And so that's going to be huge for them. So keep an eye on them come the 2026 World Cup qualifying. For 2022 World Cup qualifying, the guys we saw today, Areola, Legit, Long, those are the guys that are going to be in the mix for it. Maybe Will as well. Maybe Sam Vines, if he keeps rising up the charts. And if there's some injuries, you might get to see him. But what we saw today was a lot of U23 guys, and it shows that 2026 World Cup qualifying cycle is going to be highly competitive for the red, white, and blue here. But again, good match. You get the result you want. You get your guys. You get some tape on some of your guys. You get them into a camp to see how they work out, both as a team and take instruction from a coach. So nice to see Cullen Acosta back out, dropping a few assists there. And he's another guy to keep an eye on. Seems like Berhalter's high on him. So I will. That has a lot of thoughts. Maybe I'll write something about it. Who knows? Check us out at sonsofapitchsoccer.com, as well as on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all over the place. Thank you to our viewers and listeners for all the support. Mike, I'll give you the final word before you wrap up our stream here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brother BKL, thank you, sir. It's just great stream, Mike and Nick. And, appreciate you, everybody, hanging out with us tonight. Big shouts to Ray's Energy Drink. Get it at GNC or, order directly from their website there. Just search Ray's Energy by Rep Sports. And hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button on Twitter and Facebook, and the road continues. So we'll be back Tuesday night with our regular episode as well. We'll be recording the next of the World Cup episodes. And thanks for hanging, everybody. Appreciate it. And Nick, well done on the stream tonight.
Thank you, my friend.
This Raise Energy, I can't even talk. So with that being said, good night, everybody. We'll talk to you all very soon. Again, thank you to Jamie with that super chat, $20. Much appreciated. and we will see you all very soon. Good night.